Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Caught Lookin. As always, I'm your host, Meg, and joining me tonight are Sarah and Jenell. And tonight, baseball is dead. I also contemplated starting this episode off by just screaming, but I figured that might be a little jarring to some people.
I feel like people would be with you though.
I think the vast majority of baseball fans tonight stand with us on the side of fuck the Dodgers. I just, I don't know, man. I am that trade news Skubal to the Dodgers just broke me. Like,
See, my reaction wasn't necessarily fuck the Dodgers, even though yes, but also my reaction was that's it. Like nobody else could beat that. What do
now
you mean?
I don't think it was a case of nobody else could beat that. I think so. I'm going to be Michaela for a second and launch into a conspiracy theory. I think because there was news floating around prior to, like late last week that Skubal was interested in signing with the Dodgers in the offseason. I think his agent, is it Boris or is it somebody else? I just assume every asshole who gets a big contract is with Boris at this point.
Safe
Um,
bet.
I'll have to double check that, but I think his agent leaked that story that he wanted to go to the Dodgers so that every other team would just shrug their shoulders and be like, "Okay, well, we only get 2 months of him if we trade anybody." And the Tigers are not going to take anybody except people in your, top 20 prospects, if that's who you're going to give. Like the Tigers are going to want something for him. And were teams willing to give up, three top prospects or a current player for a 2 month rental? What amounts to when we know we have no chance of re-signing him? That's kind of where my thought process was with this. So now the Tigers were just like, oops, we can't, no one else is coming to us with anything. And the Dodgers are like, ooh, guys, look who we've got. And they dangle these three guys, this 28-year-old double A player.
Right. I think the Dodgers are the only team that can really take that risk in trading three of their top 20 prospects because they still have one of the best farm systems,
Mhm.
unfortunately, in the MLB. Despite them having the highest payroll and signing all these superstars, like on top of that, they still have a good farm system. So it's like, God damn it. Because yeah, like no other team, especially small market team, is gonna hand over a trove of prospects for a 2 month rental
Yeah.
unless they were like favorites to make the World Series or something. But even then, it's like, do you really want to throw away like
The
a
AL
lot of
is
your
too
future?
wide open for any one team to go in on something like that and be like, okay, yeah,
Right.
we'll literally give up our farm to chance it this when also Skubal's coming off an injury. The Dodgers can make that bet and say, okay, we think he's going to stay healthy because also they've got what, 15 guys on the IL currently that all potentially might come back over the next 2 months. I think Snell is still technically on the IL, right? But he's looking to come back soon. I haven't looked up their IL information recently, but yeah, it's I just think there was no way at this point looking back on it, like there's what other options were there out there truly once the rumor got out there that Skubal wanted to sign with the Dodgers in the offseason. Where else would he go at this point? Who else is going to make any kind of offer on him that's
Right.
of his worth?
I think no matter what team ended up trading for him, I mean, this was even before like the story broke about how like he wants to like the Dodgers are at the top of his list. I was fully expecting him to sign with the Dodgers in free agency after this season anyway. So like I think this was just kind of like expedited. But I mean, whether that's true, if the Dodgers were at the top of his list, because obviously they can pay him what he's worth. I mean, I did expect him to go there either way. So like I don't know. It sucks. It sucks for baseball. So I don't know. These negotiations are going to be very interesting. Like I don't know, since this is a trade rather than a signing. It's like, will it have that much more impact during negotiations or like I don't know. My first thought was that it will, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's just super demoralizing overall. Just I don't know. I'm just bummed out about the entire thing.
I have a list of the Dodgers roster accolades after acquiring Skubal, and it's disgusting.
I don't even want to hear that, honestly.
I know I was debating on throwing it out there, but I'm like, man, that's just gonna be even more depressing than it needs to be.
Right. So I was curious about how this came to be. Now, and I will say that I realize that the TV revenue thing that the Dodgers have going on and what I'm specifically going to talk about right now is not the only reason that the Dodgers have the money that they have. But it's it's a big reason why, because no other team has this kind of ability and agreement to get this kind of TV revenue. So this is an LA Times article that I posted earlier today underneath a comment because a lot of things I'm seeing is that everyone can do this. Everyone can do what the Dodgers are doing. They just choose not to spend money. And the reality of the situation is no, not everybody can. One, their luxury tax, I think it is more than I think half of the teams in the league right now. I saw some kind of chart that had the Dodgers current, like just the luxury tax they're paying or whatever it is. I can't remember exactly. I wish I would have saved it, but now, of course, I can't find it. But regardless, that's one thing. Like, so no other teams, especially small market teams, can't eat that kind of cash. And then there's the whole, so this was an article, like I said, posted earlier this year after they signed Kyle Tucker to his insane contract that many people agree that he does not deserve. But basically, it goes around the history of how the Dodgers came to be, how their former owner, Frank McCourt, was going through a divorce. And in order to, I think, like pay for the divorce, had to sell the team, but the team didn't have a TV deal. So they had to like estimate the TV deal and they didn't get it right. Everything went through bankruptcy court. It's a whole thing.
If I can interject, what I gathered from it, and I could be wrong because it was hard to just kind of like navigate all like the jargon and stuff, so
Yeah.
I tried my best to understand it, but from what I gathered, I think the settlement valued their TV rights as like 84 million, like 84 million. So then the proceedings went through, but then I guess their owner ended up selling the TV rights because there was a bidding war between like Time Warner Cable and
Yeah. So
shit, I
here,
forget the other one. So
I
he ended up
found
selling the TV rights for like 300 some million, which was obviously substantially more than what was agreed upon. And so then the original deal only affected the 84 million that was agreed upon and not the full 300 million. So that's why I think they're saving so much money. That's what I gathered from it.
yeah, basically they kind of it was a misestimate as to, and then because also the other kind of caveat in this, because people are like, oh, well, MLB just needs to go and renegotiate this. They just need to say, you know what, that doesn't count anymore now that we have a new CBA and we're all doing revenue sharing. But because this legally went through a bankruptcy court, a legal standing, they can't do that. So Guggenheim, who is the current owner, the current ownership group of the Dodgers, can basically go back to the court and tattle on us and say, or tattle on MLB and be like, they're not paying us what we owe or what they owe us. And the court can then say, you have to pay them because that's what we said as a legal federal court. I believe this was federal court. I'm not 100% certain, but I'm going to make that assumption because this is a lot of money that they were dealing with. But yeah, it says, however, thanks to McCourt, the previous owner, the bankruptcy court was in charge, not the league. MLB did not have the power to redo court approved settlement because Guggenheim could have asked for the court to uphold the deal and order the league to abide by it. So yeah, it's a whole.
Yeah, I think if the league itself was, I guess, the governing body, for lack of a better term,
Mhm.
that was in charge of this whole thing, we'd be having a different conversation.
And it's going
I
to increase every single year. So they're going to get more
yeah,
and more money out of this deal until like, what is it, 2038?
2039, I believe, is when it expires. Uh, so we were talking about this
So
in our Discord. I put it down as so my son is currently 12. He is going to be 33 when this deal expires. My son will be a full-blown adult when this deal expires. And we also, I found a tweet too, talking about all of the deferred contracts that they currently have and how far into the future some of these go. Number one, the Dodgers have deferred a total of $1.1 billion. Dodgers owe roughly $1.1 billion of deferred money to players. That is one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10 different players, stretching out as far as 2047.
That's ridiculous, man. And like, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's really no like regulation when it comes to deferred payments, right? Like there's
I don't
no
think
like
so.
limits or anything. So I think that needs to be a serious point of contention during these negotiations too, is like they need to do something about these deferred payments because it's essentially a loophole and like the Dodgers are the only team that's exploiting it. I honestly don't know why other teams haven't followed suit with that, but like
Yeah.
something needs to be done about that too.
Yeah.
I think they
Oh,
might be
and
exploiting it. Sorry,
no,
they
no, go
might be
ahead.
exploiting it because they know they're going to have more money as this deal continues. I just realized that.
Yeah, either
That's
so
true. I mean, they will never be in like financial trouble.
I just
Mhm.
realized
They
that I
don't
got
have that to worry about.
my dates wrong. The 2047, my son's going to be 33 in 2047, not 2039. But anyways,
But
it
by the end of all the deferred contracts, he'll be 39.
he'll be retiring. But yeah, it's insane to think that that is over 20 years from now, 2047. That's 21 years from now. That will be a child born today will be able to legally drink when the last of the deferred money happens. This is getting close to like, I mean, so and thinking about it, deferred money, deferred contracts are not a new thing because we still celebrate Bobby Bonilla Day for the Mets. But I feel like because it was something that was so silly and such a bad deal that that's why we celebrate Bobby Bonilla Day is because we're like, "Oh my God, who would make this deal? This is insane. How goofy. LOL Mets, especially with where they are right now." And obviously they're still able to spend that money. So, Lord only knows what the Dodgers are going to look like 21 years from now. Are we going to be laughing about how they're still paying Edwin Diaz in the year of 2046? Or
Yeah,
are,
because I mean, how old is he now? Like 32 or something? Like he's not
yeah, I
young.
honestly don't know.
He's gonna be like 55 years old, just raking in the money
Yeah,
still.
he is 32. Yeah.
Actually impressed with myself because I fully just pulled that number out of my ass. That was a guess.
Yeah, it's insane. The other players on this list are Shohei Ohtani, obviously, Mookie Betts, Blake Snell, Freddie Freeman, Will Smith, Kyle Tucker, Tommy Edman, Teoscar Hernandez, Tanner Scott, and Edwin Diaz.
It's a whole team of Bobby Bonillas, man. It's
It
not funny anymore.
it's no, it's not. Sorry. Like it's like laugh to keep from crying. Oh, but yeah, it's I'm just bummed out by the whole situation. Like I saw that tweet come through and I was already depressed after the end of the Arizona game on Saturday night.
The
And
way I
that
found out about the trade wasn't from a tweet. It was from the first message I looked at our Discord was Ash saying, "So can the Dodgers just fucking die?" So that's how I found out about the trade. But yeah, no, I think like just being bummed out about it is just like the general consensus. Like you can't even be like angry at this point because like it's just we knew he was going to be a Dodger one way or another. So it's so depressing.
it really is. I just I
I
don't
do wonder too,
know.
though. I had this thought. I do wonder if he chooses to sign an extension with the Dodgers, will it be before the CBA expires, the current CBA?
I mean, it has to be, right?
He would be
Because
smart to do that
I
because
feel, yeah, I feel
afterwards
like they would
the
have to.
rules might be
Yeah.
different.
Yeah,
yeah, I mean,
exactly.
yeah, I would
So God only knows how
assume
much that's going to be. And like that's something that's definitely going to impact
that's going to be
negotiations.
deferred
So
until 2060.
yeah, literally. So like we have that to look forward to
Yeah,
too.
because there's absolutely a chance because I think one of the things that was in one of the list of negotiations that either the union or the league put out, I can't remember which one. I think it was talking about deferrals. I can't remember specifically right now, and I wasn't on that episode where you guys talked about the CBA negotiations, but yeah, there's a chance that the deferrals could be, if not completely done away with, at least highly regulated in
They
some
have
way.
to be. They
Oh,
literally have to
yes.
be.
You cannot like deferring for 20 years at is just it's insane. Because also like what happens if God forbid a team does go bankrupt? Like like what happens then like to all of these contracts that they're sitting on 1.1 billion dollars. Like I don't think the Dodgers are going to go bankrupt again. I think that was a fluke moment in time that got stuck in some weird divorce proceedings because both I
Yeah, it
think
was more to do with the owner himself than
yeah
like the actual team.
the owners I think they were like because it was a husband and wife I think that were partial co-owners or majority co-owners or something like that, so there was that's why the Dodgers got dragged, the team itself got dragged into the mess, but yeah.
Yeah, they got to do something about those deferrals because like from a player standpoint, like the prospect of deferred payments is actually like pretty attractive,
Yeah,
knowing that like you're
that's a
covered
retirement
for the next
salary.
yeah, for the next 20 years, like you'll just have millions coming in like even after you're retired or even if like you're out of the league, like that's hard to turn down from a player standpoint. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they address that because it does need to be addressed.
Yeah, I think it needs to. I'm not against continuing deferrals, but I do think there needs to be limits to it. I think there needs to be rules around it because I just don't see how you can continue with a team like the Dodgers doing what they're doing.
Right, I
Because
agree.
aside from maybe the Dodgers, the Yankees, and the Mets, I don't know what other team could possibly do do this kind of thing. All right. Well, I'm sure we will talk more on the Dodgers and their bullshit as the trade deadline comes to a close tomorrow, Monday at 6 p.m., which is an off day for us. So I guess that's good. We won't be able to hug watch during during the game. There was a little hug watching today, but nothing happened.
It's an off day for the players only, not for the front office.
That's true. No,
Y'all are still
Chris, you
required to
are on
report
the
to work.
clock, my
Get
guy.
on the phone.
Yeah.
You do not have an off day tomorrow, Christopher.
Speaking of the trade deadline, we did have one trade happen Saturday. Was it Saturday that happened? Saturday morning?
I think it
Uh,
was yesterday, yeah.
yeah. So Bo Naylor and Cody Hewer were traded to Milwaukee, and Cleveland received Craig Yoho and Blake Perkins. They sent Perkins directly to Columbus, it looked like. And then Yoho actually made his debut today, Sunday, against Arizona, and did pretty well. I was pretty happy with. I can't remember his exact stat line, but he did look good on the mound, and no complaints so far. And apparently, he walks into a pirate shanty.
I do think it was a good trade to make, and I think the writing was on the wall for Bo. I mean, there
Yeah.
was just no our catcher production has been through the roof this season, so there was really just no way for him to kind of like make his way back on the
Hmm.
roster. So I think trading him was absolutely the right move. I'm really not moved by Perkins. I mean, he's hitting like only 150 something, so I was kind of like, eh. But
That
Craig
seems more
Yoho,
like a toss in. Milwaukee's like, can we just get rid of this guy? You're giving us two, so let us give you two. And we're like,
right. Y'all can
whatever,
try to
sure.
fix him, but
Yeah.
whatever. Maybe that'll be us with Arias. He'll be our Perkins.
Yeah, exactly. Can we please, can you guys just take him off our hands, please?
Right. Have some fun with him. See what you can do with him, but just get him
We'll
away from
include a
us.
couple bucks of cash if you'll just take this man, please.
Can I interest you in some cash considerations? But no,
Oh,
I
yeah.
am pretty excited about Yoho. I
Hmm.
like what I'm seeing from him so far. I was really taking a dive into his stats and stuff, particularly his minor league stats really caught my eye because this year he's been kind of like up and down from AAA in Milwaukee. He did have a calf strain, I think, to start the season. So he was just kind of like up and down a little bit, but his AAA stats this year, he appeared in 23 innings pitched across 19 games, 0.78 ERA with 29 strikeouts, 0.65 whip, and a 135 opponent average. So I was like, okay, he can absolutely pitch at the AAA level, thankfully. And then his 2026 stats, this year he's pitched in 21 innings across 16 games with an ERA of 3, 19 strikeouts, and 8 walks. So it's like, okay, like he's pretty good. And I think with our pitching factory, I mean, I think that they'll have fun working with him and just to try to maximize him and his spot in the bullpen.
He
Um,
apparently also has a, now I'm not a big pitch type person, but I have heard people get very excited about
oh yeah,
his
I looked at
changeup.
that. Yes,
Yeah,
I looked
Cammy
at
was
that
talking about
closely.
it, that it's like one of the best changeups in the entire league.
Maybe
Yeah,
he
his
could give our guys some hints as to how to actually hit a changeup.
right. But yeah, his changeup is definitely his bread and butter. He throws it 45% of the time and mostly against lefties. His changeup has a 35% whiff rate, which is very good. And the average speed for his changeup is 79 to 80 miles an hour, whereas the MLB average is around like 86, I saw.
Oh,
So
wow.
that's well below the league average. So I'm like, okay. And so then when I saw him, throw it in person, like you can even tell, like, holy shit, that is a filthy pitch, man. It has that movement. Like, oh my God, it looks tough to hit. So he's going to be throwing a lot of those. He also has great extension too, like
Oh,
very,
yeah.
very above average extension,
Which
which
is a huge thing that the Guardians absolutely
mhm.
love in a pitcher, I know. Yeah, as soon as people hopped on to what was it? What is the one with the
Savant.
yes, yes, the Savant with the red lines and the blue lines and stuff. His extension was like full red, like 98 or something like that. And the
Yeah,
other
so
thing,
even though like his fastball is very average, I think like just him having that really good extension will kind of like compensate for it a little bit. So I have high hopes for him. I'm
mhm.
excited to see what he has, and I definitely think that this pitching staff will help him out a lot.
Yeah, he also just debuted in April of 25, so he is still on his rookie contract. And I want to say he's got like 3 years left on his 3 or 4 years. I can't exactly remember that until we reach, free agent negotiations and that kind of thing. Which again, Guardians love having that kind of control on a young guy. So I'm excited to see who knows what Perkins going to become. That was I really do think that that was probably just a toss in and they're just like, here, just take him.
That's always a
um,
great sign.
That's
yeah,
fine.
but I think Yoho is enough for Bo and Cody. And I really hope because I have heard that the Brewers have a really good catching development program. So I really hope that Bo can find himself. And I think even Antonetti was saying that too, that just like we couldn't and I realize that some of us is some of this is probably lip service because obviously, he's not going to say anything bad about any of the guys. But he was talking about how, he was sorry that basically we couldn't help Bo be the player that we always thought he could be, and that hopefully Milwaukee will help him get to make that a possibility. So we'll see. Hopefully there's, you know, I just hope that Bo doesn't come and just like beat our ass the next time we see him. Like,
Probably will, yeah.
don't become a guardian killer, please.
If him and Josh ever land on the same team together
Oh my
again, like I
God.
hope we never have to
Oh
face that.
no. I don't ever want that because yeah, Josh posted the trade in his Instagram story and I think he captioned it with like God is good or something like that. I'm like, Dude,
I'm not
come
reading too much into that because like it's his brother. I feel like MLB players
Yeah.
post that all the time, even if like their teammate got traded. I feel like that's a very common
I
thing to
know, but
post. So like I'm not reading too much into that.
after the whole Josh and Hedges
Yeah.
thing, I'm like, okay, sure, fine, whatever. Anyways, so yeah, I'm excited to see Yoho, and I wish Bo the best in his future.
We
So
make up
this
a fun
week,
little chant with Yoho. Like, can we come up with
Yo
something
ho, yo
clever?
ho, a pirate's life for me. That's been
I
stuck in my
already
head
saw
ever
someone
since
say like Yo-Hi-Yo.
yo
Like
ho.
that's
ooh,
fun.
I like that one. I keep, even though I know that this isn't, it's I can't rem well now I'm double guessing myself. But I keep singing the I think it's the dwarf song from Snow White. Yo ho, yo ho, it's off to work we go. Do, 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 do.
Oh, we could do something with that for sure. Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that last name,
I
Yoho.
it
That's fun.
there's a lot that you can do with that, I think. Especially since he's leaning into the kind of like pirate theme with the pirate shanty walk-in song. So I'm sure they'll get some kind of cool graphics going for him like they do with Cade and Gaddis. Because Gaddis does have a really cool opening with that, the
Oh yeah, we have a pirate and a
his
Viking.
we do have a pirate and a Viking. Yeah. They got it. The bullpen should now be a sunken ship. Should needs to be get a shipwreck theme out there.
Yeah, I mean, if I can be completely honest, I would not be disappointed if we dealt Gaddis. I really wouldn't. He's just
I
too
know.
unpredictable for me.
I when he's on, God, he is so good. But yeah,
But you never know what we're gonna
Saturday
get. And
night he was.
he's like half the pitcher he was in 2024.
I know.
And him same with Tim Herron too. Like the
Yeah,
fall off of those two, I just don't understand.
yeah, it's frustrating. It's really frustrating. I don't. We'll see what happens in the next, under 24 hours at this point. If we can interest anyone in a slightly used Hunter Gaddis or Tim Herron, but
And Gabriel Arias and cash considerations.
right. Maybe. Though I will give Gabby some flowers because again, like he just shows flashes of the guy that he could be. That barehanded grab at third to get out. I don't know who was batting, but my God, by a whisker. That was such a good play.
I was pissed at how good of a play that
I
was.
know, right? I'm
I
like,
was pissed.
that's the Gabby that we want to see, dude. That's the guy that you can be. Be him.
Be him for another team though. Like I'm sorry, I can't.
Oh. So actually I was putting together so I make a list of all the games that we played Monday through Sunday just to remind myself. And I was like, "Oh, we're 3-3 this week," which first of all, we always seem to be like 3-3 or like it's always just hovering around 500 when I do these things.
It's
Um
always so mid.
yeah, I'm like, what is but this just felt like such a bummer of a week that I was so surprised that we won three and lost three. Cincinnati was rained out, and then we won the first game of the doubleheader and lost the second game of a doubleheader, which I always feel like is way more demoralizing if you lose the second game of the doubleheader because you end the day on a loss and it's like it just feels like the entire day is a wash. And then we won against Cincinnati and took the Ohio Cup. And that was Kyle's grand slam
Mhm.
on was that Wednesday?
That was
That
Tuesday,
was
the
Tuesday.
first game of the doubleheader.
Oh, Kyle's grand slam was the first game of the doubleheader, not the third game.
That's really the only reason they won that
Yeah,
first
yeah.
game
I mean,
was
it's
because of
it was
his.
6-5. Yeah, so that was the
Mhm.
that was the deciding hit. Janelle, did you go to which games did you go to out of this? Because they were in Cincinnati, right?
Yeah, so I had planned on going to all three, and then I couldn't go to the first game of the doubleheader because it was during work hours.
Wah,
First you,
wah.
Mother Nature. But yeah, I went to the final two games. So
Nice. So you got to see the win at least, the 6-1 win
yeah.
on.
Hmm.
Nice. How was that?
It was good. The Reds bullpen is kind of ass, so
I'm glad we were able to get
Well,
to
we
them
can give
then.
them some of our pieces.
Yeah.
They can be even more ass.
Can we introduce you to Tim Herron and you can give us Deli.
I can't name a single Reds
The
bullpen
only
pitcher.
person that's
It's like,
popping up
yeah,
is
it's
Ellie
like
De La Cruz, but I'm like, we don't need a shortstop. That's going to cause
you
more
don't need
problems than solutions at this point.
I know Spencer Steer was a name that's been tossed around quite a bit, but even him,
but
it's like
even her,
he deals with a lot of injuries from what I hear, and
yeah,
I'm like,
he's hurt right now.
I'm a little
I
iffy on
swear,
that.
I've been to like 6 Reds games, and still the only player that I can name is Sal Stewart. He's the only one that's been good. And he's a rookie, so like he's not going anywhere.
I'm sure Chris can figure something out. That's why he's the president of baseball operations and not us.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then we played Arizona this week, which they came in, I feel like, on a little bit of a skid. Weren't they not doing well before they came to Cleveland? Were they like kind of meh? I
I
feel
don't
like
know actually.
I don't know. I feel like I remember them saying that, not that they were like on a losing streak or anything like that, but that they just weren't playing to their potential. And then they're like, "Oh, we remember that." Yeah, so we lost Friday 4-1. I don't even remember that game because I think the Saturday game is taking up the majority of my memory bank at the moment. But I
Yeah, it
normally
was.
don't turn off games. I will normally watch them through to the bitter end. But after that 7-run inning by the Diamondbacks, I turned it off. And I'm like, I can't. I need to take a break. I can't do this. But I was still watching like game day. I would like check in on my phone every so often. It's a sickness.
I
Um,
usually turn games off, and like that was the one game that like I just didn't, and so I actually sat through until it got to the eighth inning, and so I'm like, okay, shit, I'm glad I didn't turn this off because at least I had like a little bit of fun.
I did turn it back on, and I will say that, the offense showing life and coming back in that game and getting it within 3 was incredibly impressive. They fought for that. And normally I feel like, especially like, I don't know, this past month or two, when that seven run inning would have just killed them and they would have just let Arizona run them over at that point and just tossed in the towel. It was the bullpen fully that gave up this game. It's really unfortunate that the bullpen just absolutely imploded, especially after that was Tanner's game, right? Tanner
Mhm.
tossed a gem, man. He looked so good.
And I
And
feel bad that his 2 earned runs were only assessed to him because of like because Sabrowski inherited his base runners. I'm
yeah,
like, man, that sucks. Because otherwise, he did pitch such a good game. But
yeah.
yeah, that inning from hell with Gaddis and Alleman, I was
Mm.
like, I can't believe this is getting progressively worse. But just with the wild pitches and the 2 hit batters, it's like, what are we doing, man?
It was
And, like
so, so
Hedgie
bad.
getting crossed up by the pitch calm, like because when does that ever happen?
Yeah.
And then just on top of that, like the giving up the 3 run home run to Corbin Carroll just after all of that was
Hmm.
just like a dagger.
Yeah, it was a really, really rough game. I mean, I was glad that they were able to obviously, pick it up today on Sunday and take this game, especially with Gavin pitching the way he did, taking a no-hitter into the 6th.
Not even a no hitter, a perfect game.
Oh yeah, because it was 15 up, 15 down.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I didn't even realize that it was a perfect game. Now I almost understand why Bailey and Rocchio were even more upset at Tawa
Hmm.
and his bunt attempt. That makes a lot more sense now. I'm like, I'm like, yeah, like a perfect, like a no-hitter. I understand, Cleveland hasn't had a no-hitter since the 80s. I understand why they're upset, but it being a perfect game, oof, wow. Yeah, I understand that now because I was so confused. I'm like, what is going on? Why are we all up in arms? I really do think that at the end of because Rugi Odor was incensed there when they called the game
Yeah.
and the tarp was coming on. I'm like, what the hell happened? Why is Rugi of all people being like dragged off the field bodily by, the other players and coaches? My guess, this is based on nothing except my speculation, so please do not report this as any kind of truth. But I think that my guess would be that the Arizona player on base, I think it was Vargas, when he ran into third, or the way, because he was jawing a little bit with Rocchio, I think. And I think he said something insulting to somebody on the team, whether it was Rocchio or Arias, someone in the dugout. And that's the only thing I could see that would make sense for Rugi to lose his shit like that, is he's trying to defend one of his players. I don't see a coach getting that worked up about, I mean, like, obviously he would get worked up about a perfect game, but I don't see a coach getting worked up about an attempted bunt like Bailey and Rocchio got kind of, I wouldn't even say worked up, just miffed. Because they were both just like, what the hell, dude? What the fuck? Really?
Yeah, like I get
Yeah.
like shrugging, or not, just kind of being like a little disappointed that, they attempted a bunt, but at the same time it's like that's not something to get mad over, because obviously these teams are going to try to get on base at whatever cost, especially us as a team who leans a lot on bunting in small ball. It's like you really don't have room to be angry at that, because they're just trying to get on base. Like, so I mean, I get like the little shrug here and there, but it's definitely nothing to cause the bench is clearing brawl over. So I definitely think there was more to it than just the bunt attempt. So like maybe something was said, like you said, but yeah, it definitely wasn't just due to the bunt. But yeah, I have no idea what caused that.
So, because I listened to Vote's post game presser, I did not see the thing that happened with Rocchio and was it Vargas? Because I thought what happened was that he slid into him,
That
but
was Tawa, I believe, because it was I think. Yeah, because then Vargas was given second base. So Tawa was the one who did the presented bunt and popped it up, and then he hit the single, breaking up the game. And so he was on first. Vargas was next up and hit the ball to Rocchio, hit it in the middle infield. Rocchio got it, stepped on the base, and so Tawa was the one who slid into second base, which I'm not sure if he really slid into Rocchio, if I remember the play correctly. I think it was just a relatively normal slide into second base to kind of try and throw off the throw, which he did end up throwing off the throw because the Rocchio overthrew and Vargas got second. And now I can't remember if it was Vargas on second who Rocchio was kind of doing the shrugs to, or if it was Tawa getting up and walking off the field that Rocchio was doing the shrugs to. So it could have been either one of those. I can't remember
Yeah, I
exactly.
think the
Vote
whole thing's
said
kind of dumb, to be honest.
Yeah.
because Vote said in his post game presser that they were jawing at each other and said some things that he took offense to. He was very vague
Rocchio and
about
one of
that.
the Arizona players.
One of somebody on Arizona was said some nasty things, and that's what they were upset about. It didn't really have anything to do with the bunt attempt, and again, I didn't see the sliding play, so maybe that was also part of it, and I don't know if that was when the jawing happened, but yeah, he was very vague about it.
Yeah, I mean, you're
'Cause
never going to get the whole story
you're
unless
never
one
gonna
of the
get.
players decides to actually like go out and say something specific about it. Just FYI, because we're here, no trades for us, but Passan just dropped that the Cubs are acquiring Kevin Gosman in a trade with the Blue Jays. I don't see the
Yeah, I don't
return
even know
for,
how Gosman's been this year.
I don't know. I know the Passan's tweet says the Cubs are acquiring right-handed Gosman in a trade with the Blue Jays. The Cubs have sought a playoff caliber starting pitcher all deadline, and now they've landed one. So I
Yeah,
guess
I don't really
he's,
know what to make of that since it doesn't involve us.
I know. I just thought it was interesting since it came through while we're talking, but
Yeah, I
but
think
anyways,
like
yeah, it's weird. The whole situation was kind of odd, especially since then we immediately went into a rain delay and they were actively covering the field in a tarp when this whole thing was going on.
yeah, it was just a weird situation that happened. So I don't know. We'll never know. Like I said, I think the whole thing was just kind of stupid anyway. Just let them jaw at each other. Like whatever happens, happens, man. It's sports.
Yeah, right.
But I do just want to go back to just like looking at this previous week as a whole. And I think my biggest thing is that it was nice to see the resurgence of offense these last two games. But I think our problem is that the games we lose them bad.
Yeah.
So take the first loss we had to Cincinnati. We only had 3 hits that game, and that was a Reds bullpen game, mind you.
Yeah.
And then our first game against Arizona, again, we only had 3 hits, Quan himself having 2 of them. And so it's not just the fact that like, we're losing games. When they lose, they're bad losses.
Yeah.
Like their offense
Not
is
even necessarily,
non-existent.
it's not even necessarily blowouts because they're not all blowouts. It was 2-0. It was 4-1.
Right, because our pitchers still go in and do their job so well. And that brings me to my next point about how just the problem with the lack of offense and how it like affects the pitching pisses me off because it's so much added pressure for both our starters and our relievers, especially late in the game when there's very, very little room for error. And you know how like one small miscue can make all the difference in an otherwise winnable game. And like the one that sticks out to me was Hoskins' botched throw to first.
Oh,
Like that pretty much like
yeah.
that really cost
Yeah.
us a game because it ended up costing us a run and then the wheels fall off after that. And so that's why like the lack of offense is so bad is because it's not just we can't score runs, but like it's affecting our pitching too because these guys are being put into these situations with so much added pressure. And it's like if they don't address that, then they're going to piss off their pitchers. Then our pitching is going to start to dip too. And then pretty soon we're going to have bad hitting and bad pitching. And I'm like, I don't want that to happen. So that's why like we need some offense. And like with this roster right now, like again, you never know what you're going to get from them. Like even though we lost Saturday, that's like the one exception to where a loss, it wasn't like a bad loss. Going into the 8th, it was a bad loss, but with that 5-run inning, that changed things. And it's nice to see that they kind of kept it up today, but you never know what you're going to get with them. Like, and it's the same guys producing. It's Quan. I'll even say Reese Hoskins too. Like I think before Saturday's, I could be wrong on this. Before Saturday's game, I think he had accounted for like our only like 3 runs the last 2 games or something. So like it's the same guys producing and like we can't expect to go anywhere with this current roster. And that's just my whole issue with it. So like they need to make significant moves if they actually give a shit about winning. Rant over.
I was just scrolling on Twitter for a second, and one of our reporters, Joe Noga, has a tweet from the Q&A with the post game with Patrick Bailey. He asked, "What did you say to Tim Tawa after the bunt attempt?" And Patrick Bailey just said, "Let's just ask him how he's doing." So yeah, we're never gonna get any kind of info as to what happened, but yeah. I gotta say, you know what? We chatted about it before, but obviously signing Bailey or trading for Bailey was kind of the nail in the coffin for Bo. But I really like him. I think he's fitting in really well. He's doing really well. I saw a tweet where his particular, let's see here, where was it? Boop, ba-doop, ba-doop. Oh, here it is. Yeah, because he had a solo home run earlier today in the game. His 30 games with San Francisco, he was slashing 146, 213, 183 with 1 home run, which is his only extra base hit this year with San Francisco. 45 games so far with Cleveland, so similar, slashing 220, 266, 370, 4 home runs, 2 doubles, and 1 triple. Like, dude
Yeah,
unlocked
Bailey's been great for
something when
us.
he got here, and I don't know. And I realize there are other issues going on in San Francisco. Nicole was following them for a little bit and mentioned that things are not going well over there. So it could have just been, whatever culture issues are happening over there that caused bad gameplay, at least for him specifically. But yeah, he's unlocked something over here. So I'm
And
very
he's been
pleased.
contributing offensively too. Like
Yes.
maybe like not on a consistent basis, but like he's had some pretty clutch at bats. And obviously I
He's
neglected to mention Chase DeLutter too. Like
Oh
he's
yeah.
obviously been a huge part of our offense. And but like I said, it's the same guys that are producing. But no, going back to Bailey, I am very happy with him. I think he's been great for us.
Sorry, I
So
just kind of
I
like
really
I
like him.
moved. I like changed the topic slightly when you were I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
No,
this
you're fine. I didn't
no,
want to
you're
make it
fine.
seem like I was just ranting in the middle of
I
our
mean,
discussion.
what is this if not just a rant all the
I have a
time,
lot of
every week?
thoughts and they need to be voiced.
We all do. That's what this
But
is
yeah,
for.
it's nice to have two catchers on our roster who are both really great defensively and aren't black holes
Yes.
offensively.
Well, and like
Because
the
it's been a
thing is,
long time since we've had that.
exactly. I mean, like they always kind of like semi account for that. Well, maybe not. Not really historically, but that's kind of what they assumed. Our catchers, they're just like, okay, catcher is just like, we're hitting around under 200, and that's just what it's going to be. But as long as, he can control the pitchers, then we're happy and we're good. So the fact that Bailey and Hedges are both producing at the rate that they are currently is almost like it's almost like a trade deadline acquisition.
Close enough. Welcome back, Yan Gomes and Roberto Perez.
No, but really, it's like an extra at bat for us when it comes down to it because I feel like we never rely on the number 8 position in our lineup for any kind of offensive output. So being able to see Hedgie or Bailey come up to the plate and be like, there's a chance. There's a chance that something's going to happen and that we can keep this inning going. This isn't an automatic out anymore. It's helpful. I do agree with you that yes, we need more offense. I think we really need a bullpen arm too. I don't know if Yoho is going to be the only bullpen guy that we look for.
No,
Um,
we need more. He can't
yeah,
be the only one. Or I had this idea too. If we were to acquire another starter, I would like to see Slade move to the bullpen.
yes, I
I
have
think he could
seen
do well there.
several
Because
people.
he does really well the once or
Mhm.
twice through the lineup, but like I mean he's proven that he can't go
Yeah,
deep into games. So I think it makes sense if there's another starter that's available, if we can offer something, acceptable for it, then like get another starter, move him to the bullpen and just like move things around here and there.
dude,
But
even
obviously,
like
yes, we do need bullpen help for sure, in addition to offense.
mhm. Even like finding a like someone who can fill in as like a number 4 or number 5 starter. We don't need a number 1. We've got Gavin and Parker. We don't need to
Right,
find an
someone just
ace.
serviceable.
Yeah, exactly. Someone who can, fill in at the end of the rotation, give us a little bit more length. So speaking of how Slade doesn't go that deep into games, tweet popped up yesterday about how the number of times this season the starting pitcher has pitched beyond the 7th inning. And we somehow top that list with 10. Like,
Yeah, that's
which
shocking to me.
absolutely, I'm like, are you serious? Like, I feel like our bullpen is constantly being used, but yeah,
It
like,
has to be like just Parker Messick and Gavin Williams.
no, it's not.
Maybe one or two from Bybee.
It is, let's see here. It is 1, 2, 3 from Parker. It is 1, 2, 3 from Tanner. It is 1, 2 from Gavin, 1 from Joey, and 1 from Slade. So every
Wow,
single one
only
of
two
our
from Gavin.
starters,
That's surprising.
yeah, every single one of our starters has gone at least 7 innings this year, has 7 plus innings, I'll say, because Tanner went 8 in 2 games, Gavin went 8 in a game, Parker went 8 in a game, and Joey went 8 in a game. So actually Slade's the only one who hasn't gone 8 yet. He went 7.1 in one game in May. But yeah, like our starters have been workhorses, man, which is kind of crazy how bad our bullpen's been in some cases.
That's why I feel so bad for our starters. Like I hate that for them
Yeah,
that our
like
bullpen sucks and our offense sucks. So it's literally all on them.
we've used 5 plus 1 game of Logan Allen. All of our starters are still healthy. There's zero issues currently with them. Knock on wood, knock on all the wood, please.
We are incredibly lucky that they have been as
Yes.
healthy as they have.
I cannot
Incredibly lucky.
I cannot remember a year that we haven't had a starter go down at some point. In like you just assume that at some point when Logan was sent to Columbus, I'm like, we'll see him soon. He'll be back up because something's going to happen because something always happens. But the only thing that happened was a doubleheader. That's it. That's all we needed him for so far.
He kind of seems like he'd be a perfect trade piece too. Like package Logan Allen with someone. Like there's
Yes.
so much you can do. There's so many deals you can make. Like these guys are good. Like there's going to be teams that want them. So like just take it seriously, Chris.
I believe in him. I believe in Chris Antonetti. I think he
Mhm.
can make something work.
From your lips to God's ears. Okay, so obviously earlier, when I was talking about the players who have been doing really well, I did want to ask, how concerned are you guys with Brian Rocchio? Because he has been struggling recently. I think going into this game today, he was 2 for his last 26. So he's definitely hit a cold spell. And
Ooh,
so
yeah.
I don't know how concerned I should be about him.
I don't know if you guys saw my face when I pulled up his MLB page in the last 7 games.
Isn't he
It's
4 for 36? I think that's what Al
it's
said today.
Sounds about right.
his last seven
Four for
games,
his
which
last
is
36, yeah.
this is giving me 26 at bats. He has an average of 0.77, an OBP of
Oh,
143, and he's only slugging 115. It's
oh my goodness.
I knew it was bad. I didn't realize it was that bad. That
I'd be
is
curious to look at his splits from after the All-Star break.
Yeah, I don't know. This goes by 7, 15, and 30 games. I don't know how many games it's been since the All-Star break. But even his last 30 games, it's 233, 264, 371. Like it's
Yeah, what's
okay,
happening?
but he's definitely taken a tumble over the last month or so.
Yeah, and
Um
what should have been an all-star season for him.
yeah.
So it's a little discouraging
I'm
that,
I
he seems to be hitting these speed bumps here.
yeah, I wasn't concerned until I looked at the numbers. Now I'm
See,
like, "Ooh,
I have a theory though, because I don't know if this was after Angel was injured, but I feel like more recently he has been moving around the lineup a lot more. Like today he was batting sixth, and for a while he was locked into that 9 hole spot, and I remember him saying that he feels at home there. I wonder if him jumping around a bunch has kind of messed him up. I don't know if that coincides with his recent stats. Like when did he start bouncing around again? I feel like it was maybe not so
it was probably around
long
the time. Well,
ago.
because also when Angel Chase and Jose all went out, that's when I don't know that's when, but Quan was also slumping during that chunk when those guys were out too. So that's when they started experimenting more severely with the lineup. So I think it was probably not long after the injury. So June maybe, which would be about 2 months now. But that is definitely a theory that I could get behind.
Yeah, I definitely think that has something to do with it. And I do think they should slot him back into the 9 hole now just to see how he does if he can just kind of start getting back into his groove a little bit in a spot that he is very familiar with.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a good idea. Where was he in the lineup today?
I think he was six.
Yeah,
So it was him and then Arias and then
yeah, Bailey and Halpin.
Bailey and Halpin.
Ooh, look at that. Petey got his average back up over 200. Good job, Petey. I mean, the thing is, Rocchio is still, he's at 258 for his average, and or at least I'm assuming this is up to date post this game, but 258 for his average, 702 for his OPS. So overall, his he hasn't been bad enough to drag his numbers down severely, which might also just go to show how good he was earlier this year. I feel like that's definitely a good theory, Janelle, that it could be just all of the jumping around in the lineup has caused him to lose his footing. I hope Vogt puts him back in the 9 hole and, he finds kind of his home again because it's August and we need Brian
August.
Rocchio. Almost Rocktember.
August.
August. That one doesn't
Okay,
flow very
Scooby
well,
Doo.
but
It's
August. So yeah, I want to see before I, sound the alarm on is Rocchio good now or is he falling back into it? I want to see him put back down in the 9 hole and see if that helps him out. because I still have faith in him. He was so good at the beginning of this year. Like I said, he's still rocking a 702 OPS total for the year. I can't see him just falling that fast, that hard. Or maybe he's just doing him and Brian and Stephen Kwan are just flipping.
Yeah, I think these
Maybe.
these guys are like really attached to their routines more than you'd think they would be. Because didn't
Hmm.
they say that Kwan, the reason for his slump might be due in part to him like bouncing around between center and
Hmm.
left?
Which I
That and
want to,
some like external influences too, like going on bereavement and stuff. Like
yeah.
he's been dealing with a lot this season, but man, he has been on
Oh
fire,
my
dude.
God.
He led the MLB in batting average in the month of July. He hit
Yes.
390 in July. He was almost hitting 400, man. This dude is fucking insane.
Yeah. No, I think it's safe to say that Stephen Kwan is back and
He is so back. Oh my God.
swapping his I will take a slumpy Kwan in June and July every year if you can give me 400 Kwan in July, August, September.
100%.
Give me that every day of the week. Absolutely fine with it. Before we close down, I do want to say I have been super impressed with Petey recently. He made some really good catches in center field this weekend.
Yeah, he's one hell of an outfielder, man. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I've been very impressed with him.
Mm-hmm. I'm very, very impressed with how he's been looking. And I feel like he's finally finding his bat too. Last 7 games, he's hitting an average of 300. His OBP and slug aren't. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not sure where OBP lies. Is 391 good? I would assume the higher the better. So that's kind of
Base
meh for
percent.
me.
I think
But
it's maybe like slightly above average.
yeah. But yeah, I feel like ever since he hit those 2 home runs, I feel like he's kind of finding his stride in the batter's box and figuring things out. So that paired with his defense in center field, I thought they were going to bounce him back up and down a couple times, but I don't see them sending him back down at this point. I think they're going to keep him in center as long as he keeps doing what he's doing right now.
That's if we don't acquire another outfielder, though.
That's true.
I feel
That's
like
true.
if they are looking for offense, like they're going to probably look for an outfielder. So that is going to be interesting to see what they do there.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe he could end up being that trade piece or something like that with his hot streak now. I hope not. He's sweet, but you can't get too attached to any of these guys at this point in time.
Tell that to Chris. It's a business
It's a
at the end of the day.
Yeah. All right. Well, we've got the Mets and the White Sox coming up. Obviously the White Sox are an extremely important series. That one's scaring me a little bit. I'm a little worried about how that's going to go, especially since it's in Chicago too. And I think the White Sox have a really good, when we were talking earlier this year, a really good record at home. But we'll see. All right. Thank you, ladies, for joining me today.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
And thank you, as always, all of you for tuning in. Be sure to follow us on your favorite podcasting app and all of our social channels so you don't miss a thing. Join us on our Discord where we chat during the games, yell at the players, yell among ourselves, and yell at our hedge bot when it's very inappropriate when we talk about the players and throws up a weird picture.
And if you don't know what a hedge bot is, that's all the more reason to join the Discord.
Exactly. But as always, whether you're here for the hot takes, the heartbreaks, or the home runs, don't get caught looking. Go Guards.
Go
Go
Guards.
Guards.
Chris, go to work.